morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the planet you're on. This is the Amazing Plastic Across the Pond Hangout, which takes place every fortnight. I'm standing in for the second time for Scratch and Jack, who is still off planning some evil takeover of the world or something. He's up to something. We don't know what it is yet.
Oh, I don't know. I think he is.
Just the Amazing Plastic community spans the globe, bringing scale modelers of all types and skill levels together. Modelers who feature the techniques, tips, and share their scale modeling achievements. So just keeping a lookout for the on-air hangouts. I don't know what Jack's plans are, so we'll see how it goes. Perhaps he'll pop in today and show his face. We can find out what the secret organization is up to. Here today. I'm still expecting a few other faces to join us if they can. I've sent out some more invites, so we'll just play it by ear as we go along here. If we start, well, the person sitting beside me on the screen here today is Randall, so we'll just go to Randall first this morning for a change.
Hey guys, how's everything going?
Morning, Randall. Thank you.
Good. Well, still tinkering away at different kits here. Still working away at this old ancient Airfix mosquito. If you can get
Yep, that is ancient.
it. Yeah. There it is. Here we go.
That's for someone you were saying that's a build for.
Yeah, a friend of mine left a stash with me, and on the proviso that I build this mosquito for him. It would be my first choice of build for the mosquito. More the newer Tomeo one would be.
I wonder why. Yes,
It's fun. It actually goes together quite well. Very little filler was harmed in the making of this thing, which is surprising. The most filler was in around the nose here. And trying to do that without breaking the guns off was fun.
Is it an Airfix kit or who's it by?
It's the old Airfix kit that dates from something like 1972.
Right. Okay. So it's raised panel lines and
like I say, surprisingly the parts fit together well for its age.
You said kits. You used the plural when you
Yes,
were working on it.
I bit the bullet and made a start on the new Airfix Hurricane that came out.
Nice. Yes.
Oh, yes.
If I can find the box for it.
And what's the opinion at first sight?
Brilliant, excellent kit. It's
So a few people have said it's not an Airfix kit. It can't be an Airfix kit. It just goes together too well.
Well, you still need a wee bit of tweaking to get the things to go together. This is the kit in question.
1/48 scale, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Just making sure I'm holding up the right way here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there it is. And I've made a small start on it on the fuselage.
It's amazing the way it's almost like the 1/24th scale reduced in size in many respects.
It is, yeah. It is actually better than their old 1/24th scale kit. It's a lot more detailed. The only thing missing really is the engine and all the detail around it.
Mm-hmm. Are you building it out of the box, or are you doing a different?
More or less out of the box. The markings option that's on the cover is a gentleman that was born and raised in Belfast.
Right.
He was flying it at the time, and he had run out of ammunition. This Messerschmitt 109 came past him, and he decided to ram the Messerschmitt, breaking off its tail. And
sounds like a Belfast
causing it to crash. Yes. Typical Belfast attitude. Yeah. It's the scene that's actually depicted on the box art.
Right.
Needless to say, he caused a bit of damage to his own plane, and it had to crash land in Kent somewhere.
Yeah. Wasn't aware of that. Now I must look into that one, but read a bit more about it. If we move on to Lou, who I woke up this morning. Sorry, Lou.
Hey, it's a good day. I learned what a fortnight is. I've always been confused about that. I think that's 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yes.
Okay. We just say 2 weeks around here.
Just separated by a common language, I know.
Yes. Well, here's what I'm working on. Here's what I finished up.
Well, put it this way, we wear our pants on the inside, not the outside. Oh, yes, we're looking at this, yeah.
What
the Proctor
that?
Cruiser.
Mm.
I got the stripes in the windows on last night.
Ooh, nice.
What show is that from, Lloyd?
That's from Babylon 5.
Ah.
Which was nice because they actually had a spacecraft that looked different.
Yeah. Well, that was the nice thing about early CGI at the time. They could do anything with it, and sometimes they did just anything with it. You could put a clam or a mollusk in space and call it a spaceship.
Yeah, they did that quite a bit with the alien spacecraft.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it would make it. Well, they weren't bound by what you could build, physically. So there was a lot of very inventive-looking ships there, and colorful ships, which I enjoy because you can only see so many gray starships before you just go mad. And that allowed to you could clearly differentiate all the different races just by looking at the colors and the shapes of their ships.
Yeah. So is that's you up to date again, is it? You must have something else on the schedule?
I still have to finish this up a little bit. It's got some
Right.
details. I got to put the guns on it and things like that.
Right. And
But other than that, I'm working on that and finishing up Yoda. He's more or less done.
the hair transplant?
It went well. That took. He hasn't rejected it yet, so I think we're going to be good on that.
Very good. I'm going to mix it up a bit rather than jump across to the next person in the line. We'll jump across to Heath because Heath is dying to show us what he's built.
Oh, well, actually, not just one thing, three things.
3 things.
The first one I'm going to show you is. Oh, hello. Hang on a minute.
Your picture froze.
Yeah. We're losing him.
Yeah, there he's standing very still.
This is the one I'm most proud of.
Everyone's saying Heath. I'm not.
Quite advanced.
No.
We're not seeing it at the minute, unfortunately, Heath. 1 second to see.
I think Heath had the same problem I had, Liam.
Yeah, there he's just standing very still.
He's
Yeah.
froze.
Yeah,
It's like-
I can hear it
Okay.
just breaking up a bit there. If you can hold on to your excitement for a couple of minutes, Heath, we'll come back to you. Perhaps that signal will improve. If we go across to
Okay.
to Jamie. Hi, Jamie. How are you?
Hi, Liam. So you can see me today then.
Yeah, it's not bad. So well,
Yeah.
you're still-
I mean, I just think I don't think it's a problem. I had this problem too. What Heath's got now. I do not think it's a problem with people's cameras. I do not think it's a problem with people's computers. I think it's a problem with Google itself because he's got the same problem I had.
see, your picture's refreshing now, but when you first then stopped again.
Yeah, it's Google. It's got to be because I went on Uber the other night and it was working fine. Didn't have one problem with it. So it's definitely something to do with Google.
Right. Yeah. I know. I've been.
I'm just hoping you can see what I've got done. Anyway,
It does. You do refresh every now and again, but go ahead. Yeah.
at the moment, I'm on the sea view and I'm up to this stage. So the deck's in, all wired up and
You're not updating again.
the bar gone as well now.
Yeah. Is anyone else seeing a live? Oh, there. We see you.
See you there now. Yeah.
I'm
No, you're there,
seeing his icon. So.
So
Oh,
don't,
there you are. There you are.
don't move too much and it'll be fine.
Can you see that?
Yep.
So I have the inside of the sea view now complete. The spotlights are in, the front lights in. the roof lights are in, and the where the sub goes is in. That light in the hangar bay type.
Yeah, you're building it in two halves. You're not building it by assembling it first and then.
No. I'm doing. I've done this piece, and let me just grab this. Just to let me show you what I've done. I'm now working on the end sections. These bits. I'm now working on the front bits. And what I found was a lot of people have drilled these holes out here. Can you see this?
It's not updating, Jamie. That's the problem. But, I don't know. Sorry.
Well, at the front of the sea view, you've got vent holes.
Oh, the lumber holes.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the pictures I've seen, if people are lighting these, they've drilled these out. But I've found that you can actually see through them.
Yeah.
So what I've done is, on the inside, I filed away a slight little bit and then painted it, masked them and painted it so it looks like that. You see that?
No,
We're not getting an update again, Jamie. It's.
I'll froze too, have I?
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I got you now. Yeah.
Right. So I painted it and masked it.
But should there be light coming out of that? I mean, if they are lumber holes on a submarine, lumber holes are normally just the entry and access point for the water for the.
Right. You should be able to see through them and not necessarily have a light behind.
Exactly. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
And if you look here now, if I get the, let me just get the light. I know I'm going to update again in a second. Give me a sec.
Jamie, did you get the paragraphic set for that?
Yeah, I did. But I don't see the point of the lumber hole because you're creating more work to get very little benefit from what you see.
Yeah.
But it does correct them because aren't the lumber holes a little bit off?
Not much, but it's a hell of a lot of work to just that little tiny bit of a difference. And for your average person, they're not going to notice any difference in that lumber hole.
That's a good point.
You know, you'd have to be a real Seaview geek to notice that little tiny bit. And when I was looking at the paragraphic sheet, there's a lot of carving out to do on the plastic. And then you've got to fill it and then paint it, just that little bit. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if you can see this, but because I shaved off a little bit of the back, when the light actually hit them, you'll just see through them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see me now?
It's updated to show us that picture, but it's not updating as frequently as it should be doing. And we've lost. Has Heath left us and discussed?
I think so.
Yeah. Right.
I had me kit from Dirk. That comes surprisingly really quick. That comes within a week.
What have you purchased?
Well, that was a bit of fun, really. I've never done one. And I was quite surprised how big it is when you can see it. I'll hold it there until it comes up.
Because it's just an empty chair at the minute.
Give it a second to see it.
But it's a 1-to-1 scale empty chair.
Is it updated?
Nope. I know there are issues with Google and people do have search, but we got it. It's the what Star Wars? We can read Star Wars. That's about all we can read. I can't see. It's the Yoda.
Yoda.
Yep.
Scene.
Yoda. Yoda in the Dagmar scene.
That's very different for you.
Yeah. I just kind of thought, you know, it's quite a big kit, and that surprised me. Because I was thinking it would be like a small kit. But I don't know, I'll hold this up, maybe you can see it. But it's quite big.
Have you ever done figures before?
No, yeah, I've dabbled, but not really done figures. But these figures are not little tiny ones, they're quite big.
Yeah. I know Steve Smith did a tutorial at one stage that you can watch about figure painting. It's quite good.
Who, Heath?
No, Steve Smith.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was going to look on his website, see
Yeah, have a look at that.
for the face and stuff.
If we move on, we can come back to you afterwards again. But if we move on to James. James, you were saying that you're still not set up with your new PC, but you're.
Yeah, I'm still on the old machine right now. Yeah, the problem is it's been so hot and humid here the last 10 days. It's been not too good for working on anything, especially working on anything paper. It's been too humid for the paperwork.
Does the paper get wrinkly? I think Lou said.
It gets limp, and when you try cutting it, it drags through the paper rather than cutting.
Yeah.
So it's usually better to wait until after the humidity passes before I get back. That's why I don't build much during the summer.
Yeah.
Because of the humidity is a big issue.
You should change the plastic kit for the summer. You say no issues.
How does it affect your done builds? I mean, your ship.
They're fine. I'm not really manipulating them, so they're perfectly fine on that way. It's just strictly when you're working with the paper itself, it's just not cooperative and doesn't quite fold the way that you want it to. So I've been avoiding that issue for the moment.
Yeah, it's interesting that the different problems you get when you are a paper modeler. Just never thought that that would be an issue in a sense, but obviously the humidity must. It's like I know if the humidity is very bad, I get problems with the compressor.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see that it's just affecting things in another way. We have a new face that's joined us. I'll go back over to Gilbert. Gilbert Pendragon is one of the main men on the Styrene Syndicate. I don't know if anyone here is a member of that one.
Yeah, I am good.
Yeah. And I just asked him to.
Hi, Gil. Good morning.
Good morning, Gil. I asked him to join us this morning just for a change of face, just to see if it would be. And it's the first time we haven't spoken. I mean, we've sort of typed at one another a little bit, but we haven't spoken to one another yet. And that's why I gave him an invite for this morning to see if he would join us, just to. Although I know it's very early in Chicago.
Yeah. Very big fan of yours, Lou. Very big fan of yours.
Hey, Gilbert, I noticed you and I have the same fluorescent lamp on our table.
Oh, these things here?
Yeah, the old style fluorescent.
Yeah,
the one on the top. We have the same lamp.
Yeah, they're pretty old. Yeah.
If it works, don't.
Just saying, Gil, it's nice to see how we feel when we come and join you on your site. How early in the morning it is for us.
Yeah,
even earlier for you.
What are you working on, Gil? I know there's a 48-hour build on this weekend. You are taking part in that, isn't that right?
Yeah. What? Oh, Jesus! What am I working on? I have I have a Tiberium shuttle.
See it there in the paint booth, yeah.
Yeah, I have a bunch of figures. I'm trying to get this thing done. It's a my version of a Mad Max Interceptor.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That I'm finishing up this guy right here.
Nice bronze effect, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm working on, like you just mentioned, that 48-hour build. This guy right here. So we'll see how that works.
It's something different to do. I would never be permitted to spend 48 hours in the model shop. So I don't think I'll ever take part in the 48-hour build. But
I said to myself I never would, because you can't really give it much attention. But it's for the fun of it. So let's see what happens.
It's a challenge. It's something different, because I know Jack, who normally presents this show, started the Mad Max idea with us, and a few people are taking part in it. I am slowly progressing on my Beetle, but I haven't started on the Mad Max version of the Beetle yet. So hopefully this week sometime. But it's it's something different. It's rather than your usual what's next on the shelf and the stash type of thing. So I was interested to see what.
I kind of like doing that. I like kit bashing those. It's like taking old airplanes, like BF-109s, smashing them up and see what I come up with, things like that.
Yeah, I've seen your. It was a BF-109 you did turned it into a vehicle.
Yeah, I did 2 of them. I did one's called the Banshee. It was a BF-109. Made that into a vehicle, and then I took a P-51 Mustang, 148, and I did the same thing with that. So it's fun.
Yep.
Can I just ask you a quick question? Because Gil does a lot of figures. Gil, in your opinion on figure painting, I haven't done much figure painting, you see, and I've got a couple of characters to do. Do you find it easier to hand paint the figures or use your air gun?
Oh, geez. I do both. Me personally, I mean, I'm no expert on it, but I prefer an airbrush myself. But there's some things you can't do with an airbrush that you can do with a paintbrush.
You like the faces and stuff, you mean?
Oh, just certain kind of blendings, different effects that you're getting. Lou would be. I mean, Lou's a pretty good painter. He'd be able to answer that better than I. I mean.
Well, thank you for that. I will paint the faces and everything with a brush and do a little bit of blending with the brush, but then I might hit it with an airbrush just to kind of blend the colors all together. But I'll put the majority of the pigment on with a regular bristle brush.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It really depends how far you want to go, Jamie. I mean, I know I've been looking at this because I have a build coming up in September, which is a figure build for IPMS Ireland Forum, but it's layers upon layers of very, very thin acrylic. Seems to be the trick. If you're going for a realistic effect,
yeah.
If you just want to get the faces done, then perhaps you could keep it less. It seems to be if you put the paint on thick, that seems to be an issue. You just don't ever put the paint on thick. It's always very thin layers to avoid brush strokes.
And it depends on the scale.
Yeah.
Well, the figures I've got to do, I've got a couple at 12 inches high, and the other ones are about 4 or 5 inches high.
The other man to talk to is Keith Purcell. If you chat to Keith, he's done any amount of figures as well. So
when you stick to a specific type of building, like I do, like starships and bigger models, you become proficient in that sort of building. But when you try to swap to a different type of model making, you have to use a general new set of skills to do that model.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's good. I mean, it's a thing to do. I would never have thought of doing a figure until recently, and then I did the German machine gun carrier, and just really, really loved it. And that's why I've got another one lined up for. You can see him. His hat and head are just sitting here. Beside me here. That's Captain Jack Aubrey from Master and Commander, but that's not starting until September, so I'm not touching it until then. But if we just move on again to Donuts in Space and Richard, isn't that right?
It is indeed. Hi, Liam. How you doing?
I remember this. I'm fine. How's your runabout going still?
Yeah, I'm still well. I've got the warp engines kind of like attached to the wings now, so that's looking quite good. And I've darkened the front of the Bassard scoop right down with a bit of clear smoke on that, just to help bring that down a tone or two. And I've also been working on the detail painting on the wings as well. I don't know whether you'll be able to see most of that coming through. But we've got quite a bit of detail working on there. And I've also got, I'm not sure whether you're going to see it just there, we've got a rare earth magnet in there. Mm-hmm. Basically, the sensor dome is going to sit on the top.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to run the electricity through the rare earth magnet into the sensor dome for the lights.
Very good.
Because I don't know whether you'll be able to see this really too much on camera, and it's still a bit of a work in progress, but we've got some different coloured lights coming through that. So that should hopefully, by the time that's finished, keep fingers crossed, you know, that should work, and hopefully the sensor dome will light up.
Yeah. Are you not finding it's easy after the DS9? Well, I
Yeah,
want to say I don't mean easy as in dead easy. I mean, a lot.
it's all falling together. Well, I don't know. I think every single model has its own set of challenges, really, to be quite honest. This one, really, I suppose the challenge for me on this one is to sort of, like, you know, really work on the detail.
Mm.
Whereas the DS9 station itself didn't have a great deal of detail on it that you could put on. I mean, it had some, but they were really big areas. Whereas with a ship this size, it's quite small. I'm also taking, I mean, I've got to be honest, I'm also taking a bit of artistic licensing on some of the colours that I'm putting on it as well, and also the kind of panels that I'm lighting up. Because if you look at the instructions for the runabout, it you know, it doesn't really call for a lot of different panel shading to go on it. But I've decided, what the hell, you know, I'm just going to go and do different panel shading on it. So, you know.
I mean, if it's a personal build, at the end of the day, you're the one that'll have it on the shelf. So yeah.
This is it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
A little bit of pimp my runabout.
Sorry?
Doing a little bit of pimp my runabout.
This is it, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've got the resin kit, the interior resin kit is all put together now, and that's you know, just waiting for the final few bits to be done to it. But I can't do those bits to it until such time that it's ready to all be put together.
Does it fit okay? The resin kit fits inside, no problem.
It does now. I had to grind the hell out of it to actually get it to fit.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I was mask on, resin, you know, resin everywhere, resin dust. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah,
it does get everywhere again.
It does, yeah. So, but it's coming along. You know, some bits of this model I'm finding go really, really slowly, and other bits just seem to go really, really quickly. So. But I'm still enjoying the build.
The way of the world, I think, in modelling. So it
is, yeah.
I don't know if you. There's a butterfly keeps flying past me here. It's very off-putting. It's in the car, so let it escape after a while.
I don't think it's there, Liam. I think you're the only one that sees that.
Right.
I don't think any of us have seen it.
We used to have. I'll prove it. I shall prove it.
It's the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Hold on. Is it updating? No, by the window. See it?
I don't see it. I think that's you.
Oh no, it's not. It's
special effect.
By the door. By the door there. It's sitting down there now.
Does anybody else see that? I don't see that.
I don't see it.
Right.
Down on the bottom ledge there.
Have you been sniffing the glue again, Liam?
Very, probably, yes. Wait, that's another reason for building models, of course. we move on to the last on the list here, last but not least, Bob. Hi, Bob. Your mic's muted at the minute, so... Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I've got a cold, so I got it myself muted.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to listen to me all the time.
Are we...
All right, let me pull up the screen share. Hopefully this will work better than everybody's. This finished the P47 build.
Oh, Thunderbolt.
This week. Those are the resin figures.
Nice.
Very nice.
You painted those figures, Bob.
There's an overall picture of it there.
I like the oil stains on the surface.
And it's got a lot of photo etch in the cockpit area there.
What scale is that? 148?
148, yeah. It's an old monogram kit.
I love the big in P47s.
And there's the resin figures there that I paint. I hate painting figures, but they came up pretty good.
Yep.
So I'm kind of happy with those for a change. Then one more here. The build I finished before that, since the last time I was on, everybody's probably seen it. Is these are both kits were built for the Level Freddy group build.
Mm-hmm.
This is the monogram Kingfisher.
I love the landing effect.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did a lot of weathering on the bottom of the on the bottom of the pontoon there.
Wow.
Yeah, some good weather on that.
Like, it looked like it's been beaten up by the water. And cotton.
I have to
cotton
admit,
for
Bob, you do
the,
a fantastic job on float planes with the sea effects.
Yeah.
actually thank you, Randall. But this is actually a model Railroad Snow that I put on there from Woodland Scenics.
Oh,
Okay.
Foamy white caps.
cool.
And then the rest of it's all painted with craft paints and matte medium.
Is there any sort of, I mean, the base itself, there's no like a clear layer at all on that, it's just straight onto it with the paints?
Yeah, it's a glass
Right.
cutting board I got from the pound shop. And then everything is all just painting and clear. I had to put a coat of epoxy on it first, because nothing will stick to the glass.
Yeah.
Except for some epoxy. So then once the epoxy was down, then I could start doing the painting.
It's the kind of model, I think, I know this is, sometimes people hate this and a lot of people don't mind. It's the kind of model I think would be really good with, one of those spinning effect props.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of extra, life to
Little
it.
props, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about it, but then
Looks
most of the ones
fantastic.
I've seen don't look as good as I'd like it to. So I just stick with the
So
regular one for now.
what's next on the schedule then? The big the B2, is it?
B2, I'm planning to do there after August 3rd. I put myself on a moratorium until then, because I've got to straighten up and clean up and reorder. I spent like 30 minutes looking for a box of X-Acto blades that I knew I had, and found 3 things that I didn't know I had. So it was like
That's like shopping.
including I forgot I bought a second little Wee Lion kit, and I found it, and some other things. So it's like, all right, stop, clean up, organize, and then we'll start fresh next month.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same thing this week with this Beetle kit. I lost a part, and I had to do a cleanup because I couldn't find the part anywhere. I ended up having to resort to the second one because I've got 2 of the kits. I had to take the part out of the second box, but that's another story. I don't know. I tried to add Heath back in again, but he seems to have disappeared. I think he's definitely not joining us for some reason, unless he's still getting computer issues. I don't know if we talk generally about stuff in a minute, but I wanted just to see if I can hold on. If I present something, I'll try and present this. If I can find it again, because I just want to know if anyone in the States has any word on this type of thing. Just bear with me and do that. Share and then go to that. I see the IPMS US show. Someone apparently said this was on display, which is the Revell version of the Fine Molds kit, but it doesn't look like the Fine Molds kit to me.
It's not, is it?
It's not.
But they described it on the display that it was. I thought it was strange.
The Fine Molds kit's got a lot more detail than that.
This just looks like the Easy kit.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just wondering. No one still hasn't heard anything about the release of
No.
It looks like the Easy kit that they've slapped together and put in front of the Fine Molds artwork, because the artwork's the same as the Fine Molds kit.
That's true. Yeah, that's true enough. You're right, Randall. Yeah.
The Master Series is going to be the Fine Mold kits.
Yeah, and that says Master on the box, so it seems strange. Yeah. It's just I've been looking. I've been keeping an eye on various different websites here in the UK, and a lot of them now are listing Revell numbers, 0712 or something, or whatever the code may be, with a price beside it, but no details of what the ship is or which movie it's from. It'd just be Revell Star Wars 07012.
Yeah, they probably don't want to reveal if it's a new ship design. They don't want to reveal that early.
Yeah, and then prices. But the interesting thing, the most expensive thing there is $59.95, so £60. Now, if that's going to be the Fine Molds kit, it'll be amazing, but we can see, but the Revell prices here in the UK are very, very, very reasonable, so we can only hope for the best.
Yeah.
I know There seems to be confusion as well about is it Revel? Oh, there it goes. See, like, you saw it that time.
I've seen it that time.
No, I still think you're imagining things.
I saw it that time, Liam.
It's whether Revel Germany will release these, or is it Revel US that they're releasing the Master Series? There seems to be some confusion over that side of it.
Yeah, I know they've
Really
got
hope
that
so.
400mm X-Wing coming out in the US now, too, available.
Right, and you'd imagine they'd be out before December, Bob. So, but we'll see. That's another thing to look forward to. It's a pity Andrew's not here today. He was doing a Mad Max build for Jack's thing, and I know Jack himself talked about doing something, but I seem to be the only one here that does doing anything for the Mad Max. I'm sorry, Bob?
This shuttle Tidarium is off the hook.
Yeah, oh, it's lovely. Yeah, he's done a fantastic job. And
The working wings and the full interior and all.
I know he's off to the US in September, so I know he travels extensively. It's a DJ. This is actually his day job, and he's got a tour lined up. So he basically will be going through, I think it's 10 states in 10 days or something.
Wow.
But yeah, I know he does buy a lot of kits when he's away too. So. Hopefully I won't be knocking on anyone's door in the States looking for a room for the night. So.
There's always room at the end.
Oh, I know. But then you all live in the middle of countrysides and whatever else, and I don't know. Well, we'll see. That's what I still hope if I retire next year. Fingers crossed, please God. That's what I would love to do. Just basically fly to America and get in a car and travel about. See, you might get someone calling at the door next year.
Yeah.
See what happens. Any other news?
Liam, there's plenty of room in my garage for you.
Well, I'm used to it. I mean, as you can see, I live here anyhow, so it's in the...
Liam, their garages are about the size of our houses.
Oh,
I won't let you in the house, but you can have the garage.
Well, my wife may be with me, so I don't think that's going to be up to standard.
She can go in.
Oh, thank you. You're so kind. Any other?
Down in the man cave.
Oh, the man caves. I know that's. Oh, and you're all welcome to come and stay here anytime you like. There you go. That's an open invitation. Anything else anyone working on? Or planning to work on, or wants to show off? I know I'm annoyed because Heath so wanted to show us his Star Wars kits. Nothing. We're all in a summer hiatus. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. The only thing I got on the bench is my. I started it, but I'm waiting for the humidity to drop. Is my Dragon 2 capsule? So I gotta get back to that once everything starts to dry out a bit.
I don't know if you're familiar with James Gilbert. James is our paper modeler.
I was watching, yeah.
Yeah, and everything. It's just amazing when you see what he does on the stuff. It's just like, and we're all in awe of him every time we see it. And the smaller the pieces, the smaller and smaller bits that you can fold. So
I have a lot of respect for people that can do that out of paper. Just. Now, do you do it? Do you do it all scratch build, or is there?
No, well, most of them are templates that are downloaded, so all the parts are pre-designed, and so it's just a matter of printing out the templates,
right,
and then cutting and assembly.
Jeez, paper. Wow.
Yeah.
But you don't know the worst, Gilbert. The worst thing is the paper cuts.
Well, no, that's true. It can be dangerous.
Since Heath doesn't look like he's going to rejoin us again, what I'll do a screen share here and show off his. Let's see. We'll come back to
Do stuff for him.
Yeah, do it for him. Yeah. You all seeing this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the Bandai kits. Obviously, he's gotten. So I don't know how many pictures he's got here. Darth. So I think he's just done a straight out of the box build on them, and the Snowspeeder, of course, yeah. Must try. I have an old MPC Snowspeeder. I must try and get around to doing that sometime as well. I wonder if they will bring out the AT-AT, the big one, the big version. Obviously to match in with the Snowspeeder. I dare say it's on their list somewhere.
I understand the big AT-AT is. In the works, but they haven't given out a release date.
Saying that, of course, what about the Hot Toys ones, like scale Millennium Falcon?
Yeah, I'm going to go to another room onto my house for that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm trying to see. It was here somewhere. Someone had to post it.
Yeah, I've seen it this morning. There.
I wish they'd build a bigger snow speeder.
Yeah, true. Well, although the 1/48th one's not bad, Jamie. It's not a bad size. And there's someone else, Dirk Pitt, is doing another one of those scenes, Jamie.
Yeah. I looked at
what he's doing as well.
I looked on the review on that one, and out of the two, I like the Yoda one. But I was looking at what a lot of people had built that one. They said that what you see on the cover
has nothing to do.
Nothing like what you get inside it.
No, you get a bunch of flat-looking stick figures that have no pose to them at all.
Right.
Wow.
It's interesting. Don Gilchrist as well. Don, the Rocket Man, who just seems to build every single spacecraft on the planet.
Right.
Yeah.
It's interesting. He's actually doing a vehicle for a change, which is very nice looking.
Mm-hmm.
But
Liam, can you see this?
Go ahead. Yeah, sorry, Jimmy. Let me switch back.
Can you see this? I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah.
Bear with us. Let me see. Yeah, that's the.
Yeah,
Yoda
it's not a bad little figure on this one. This is for the Yoda scene, the Dagobah.
We're not updating again, I think.
I'll just hold it there and it might update.
Oh, I see it there now. Yeah.
I see it in your tiny picture.
That's about 3 inches.
Yeah. But I say it's not bad for what it is.
Yeah. The biggest problem probably will be doing the hair.
Yeah. You've got any spare?
Unless you do.
You free up a Q-tip.
Yeah. But it's like say, out of the two kits, this is like a better one. I mean, the actual base of it, it's quite good. I mean, you see this?
It's better than the Cantina kit.
Yeah.
So that's the interior of Yoda's hut, effectively.
And then you get this piece, which goes on top.
Yeah, it's like a cutaway of the hut, and then you have R2 on the outside.
Yeah.
So that ends up like that.
Yeah. I assume you're going to light it.
Oh yeah, I'm going to put a light in there.
Yeah.
But I thought for what it is, it's quite a good kit.
Yeah. It is a nice one. I'm going to make a nightlight for my grandson out of that.
Yeah. I mean, I was quite surprised. I didn't think that for what sort of kit it is and, who makes it, I thought it could be like a cheap looking kit, but it's actually not bad.
I don't think it's sold very well. I noticed any model shop I ever go into, they always seem to have those Star Wars diorama kits sitting. They never seem to sell those, or they're sold out of everything else.
Yeah.
There's another one with Jabba the Hutt as well, I think, isn't there?
Yeah, he's on his throne in the palace. That's that one.
Yeah.
I've seen some nice dioramas made with that one, though.
Yeah. I've seen a couple of pictures on the web of that one, and some people have made really good models of that.
I'm surprised, Lou, you don't have one with the big Rancor,
I built that Cantina years upon years ago, and like I said, it's just a bunch of flat little figures that are about yay tall, and it's not interesting at all. It's more interesting to see how the Cantina's laid out, but other than that, there's no value in that one. I did build that Yoda one, the Dagobah one, years ago, and if you're worried about trying to start to paint figures, that's an excellent one to start on.
Thanks, Lou. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I got that kit. So I thought I like that size of that
scale is big enough that you can really get the detail in if you want, but it's not maddeningly small like the Cantina figures where you're just trying to. Oh, a blue blob, that must be one character, and a green blob, that's another. So.
Yeah.
There was on a Styrene Syndicate Hangout, Gil, you were talking about the fantasy.
These guys.
Yeah,
these guys right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really detailed, them girl.
Yeah. These
hell of a lot of detail.
I don't play the game, but the figures are really, really nice. You can make some really nice dioramas and stuff out of them. So I picked up a box of one, and you know, my wife got it for me for our anniversary, which was really nice. And I think I'll play the game. You know, I mean, it looks like fun, but you know, these things here, the possibility with these, you can do all kinds of. I don't know if you could see that, but all the detail in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, they're really gorgeous. And it's like these things. Let me find them. These are all game pieces, but it's just what you can do with them. I mean, Lou, you've seen these, and I think you might have seen these at the Nationals. They have all these little figures and stuff.
I've seen them at Wonderfest. Yeah.
Yeah, Wonderfest. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing what you can do with these, you know.
But what I actually meant was there was someone talking about a book, which was the fantasy.
Oh yeah, that was Phil. He picked up those. They found these books
From Spain somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know exactly. I don't remember what the name of them were.
If I can remember, I'll get the link for Jamie and send it to him. I know it's basically a painting and building guide for fantasy figures.
Yeah.
It looked amazing, the book. I was trying to see then if I could see it online somewhere, but I must chat to Phil and try and get a link for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of good videos out there though that'll show you, you know, step by step. Like you mentioned earlier though, I'm just wetting my feet with this stuff. And the thing I learned right away was thinned paint, thin, you know, layers and layers and layers and layers. You know, you just don't slap it on there because then you'll have, you know, it looks like pancake makeup on, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of videos out there, Jamie. Well, he's on the phone right now, but
Maybe to his technical support.
yeah. You know what, Lou? That what is it? That big guy you just did with the oh God, I'm trying to think of the name of the real big with the tusks and all that. What's his name?
Yeah.
That thing came out really nice. Really, I was watching the whole series.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a very, very well made garage kit. It was excellently
Yeah.
but it also has the benefit of not being widely known. So anything I wanted to do to it, I wouldn't get rivet counters saying that's not how it's supposed to be.
God, this movie was on last night. I watched it.
It's always good fun.
Yeah.
You forget all the actors that are in it playing little bit parts. You look over there and it's so and so and that's so and so.
Adam Sandler and pretty anybody that ever was on Saturday Night Live was in there.
Yeah, pretty much everybody at the time that was on Saturday Night Live was in that.
Jamie, that's probably a similar scale probably to what you're going to be painting. I don't.
Yeah.
Sharpen up. Come on, sharpen up. We're going to sharpen up.
Focus.
And again, he's just done with layer upon layer of very, very thin acrylic.
Yeah, but it does give the definition in the face, doesn't it?
There you go.
It just sharpen. Come on.
We call it focus in the States.
Yes. Okay.
Sharpen.
Hocus focus.
It's the best way to get it. Layer upon layer, then a thin.
Yeah. Just very thin layers.
Yeah.
Same with the clothing. It's the same idea. So it's just, you know, and then I see it better than that one, but got me again, which you don't want.
Yeah, I mean, it's a total different ball game, isn't it, compared to when you're building the actual fixed big models to actual figure painting. It's a total different approach to modelling.
What I mean, you use the airbrush for putting down a primer layer, and then even use the airbrush for doing maybe general colours and so on, but not the faces. The faces have to be built up, starting with the eyes and then work your way out. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is another one, Liam.
Oh yeah, same idea. Yeah.
Yeah, this is another one that's pretty good if you could find it, Jamie.
Oh, that book.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that the book you were showing on your show, Gil? You were all discussing it.
It's a pretty good book. It gives you some. I mean, it gives you like different. You know, he goes into the different steps. He explains them right here of how he gets certain things.
Right.
The thing with
and I suppose you could apply that to any other figures, really, couldn't you?
Oh, sure. The thing that I find though is with these books, they're nice to look at, but you still got to get the brush in your hand, and you still have to do it.
Yeah, it doesn't beat the actual experience of doing it. Actually getting it.
And get a couple cheap figures that you're not going to mind messing up, and you take that pressure off of you that you don't. Oh, oh, I've got to make everything gorgeous from the first day one.
Yeah.
You're gonna mess up, so get some cheap figures to mess up on.
Yeah, well,
Even from the point of view of the lighting side of it, if you do a primer coat on the figure and sit the figure then with a light directly above it from 12 o'clock, you'll see where the highlights and the dark parts of the face and so on are.
Or take it outside.
I've actually brought those cheap plastic characters you can buy. They're about 2-3 inches high. They're just plain grey plastic, and I was going to practice on those on the faces and the bodies and stuff.
Well, I hate to suggest it, but if you have the wherewithal, take the thing you're going to paint and cast up some spares that are just the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
And just mold the face a couple of times and cast that.
And then practice on that.
Practice on those, because the thing about the cheap figures are nice, but if they don't have the same level of detail, you're not really going to learn a lot. You'll learn general blending, but you won't learn how to get things down into, find something that's got the same level of detail as what you want to paint and use that as practice.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I meant about cheap figures.
Yeah.
Even if all you do is mold just the face by itself.
Yeah.
That's not going to be. It's not a two-part moldering. It's just an impression mold. So yeah.
Hey, on your Yoda, what colour green would you say is? Because there's that many people's models of Yoda. I mean, what would you say his actual colour is? What shaded green would you say he is?
I have to come clean and say I bought him pre-painted.
Okay.
The face and the feet and hands were pre-painted, but that's a blue green. It's a very, very cool green. It was designed to be the Empire Strikes Back Stuart Freeborn version, not the prequel version. The prequel version was a lot more yellow.
Yeah.
It was a lot more on the yellow side of green, and this is a little bit more. This one tends to the blue side of green a little bit.
Yeah.
Liam, I've got something here, and I'm wondering if you think it would make a good Mad Max kit.
A gremlin.
Sort of like a low-rent desert rider in a gremlin.
And why not? Well, a Volkswagen Beetle isn't that far removed from the Gremlin. So yes. Oh, we've lost your picture, Lou, for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
It was up for a minute.
Yeah. For us in Europe, I've heard of the Gremlin, but again, was it awful or was it silly? Or
it was notoriously awful.
Yeah. if you got rear-ended in the thing, it would just blow up. It would explode.
No, that was the Pinto.
The Pinto. I'm sorry. You're right, Lou. It was the Pinto. You couldn't hit. Yeah. If you backed up to something on that Pinto, boom! It was like a Zippo lighter.
This was. It's not quite the Reliant Robin, but it's close.
Yeah. Well, Reliant Robin only had 3 wheels, at least that's
right.
4.
This one has the 4th wheel in the front, but still, they were made paper thin.
Almost like
the ugly sister of the Gremlin was the Pacer.
I was just about to say that, the Pacer, yeah.
That was the ugly. That was during the height of AMC's rise to fame in auto manufacturing.
Oh, did they like to rust?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were rusting as soon as they came off the plant.
Yeah.
I think they were built with rusted panels.
Yeah. Didn't get that problem with the Reliant Robin because it was made of glass fiber. You see that?
Yeah. Does anybody know anything about round 2? Whether they're going to carry on or they're coming to an end, or what's happening with them?
Oh no, they're still very vibrant.
Because they say their kit releasing seems to be slowing down a bit.
Well, I don't know much about their car end. I know about their sci-fi end, and they just came out with that cane, that resin kit.
Surprised you're not doing that one, Lou.
Yeah. There's a hobby shop that's got one, and I got my eye on it, but it's just I've been doing so many figures lately that I wanted to get back to something different. If it's still there in another month or 2, I may pick it up, but there's just so many other things that are more appealing right now. I was never really a big Alien fan. I liked it well enough, but it's not my Grail movie.
I was looking at the Bandai Speeder Bike Trooper kit, and the only thing I think that lets that kit down, the bike's pretty good, but it's when you come to build the actual trooper for that kit, it looks more like a toy than it does a model. Do you know what I mean? The actual kit on the old kit is a better Stormtrooper.
Well, I think that's a sculpt, because if it's a Bandai, it's probably made to be posable, where you take the kit off of the bike and you can pose it.
Yeah, I know that, but I just think
that's gonna make the joints look bigger than they need to be and all that kind of stuff. Whereas the one for the NPC kit was sculpted in that one pose, so they could put the bulk back into the the joints and whatnot. I think that's your difference. Plus the fact that it's got that white plastic armor on it that makes it look like a toy.
Yeah, it's almost too pristine, sort of thing. Yeah. I know Freddie was building one, I think, wasn't he, Gil?
Yeah, Freddie just finished one. I know that I believe it's Norm Lajoie. He did one that's I believe the NPC, or is it the NPC one? And he did a really nice job on it. But I'll tell you what, from everybody that I've spoken to, that figure is not as bad as the Darth Vader figure that Bandai came out with.
Oh, the one with the cloak, Gil. The cloak.
Yeah, well, not just that. The way they had the joints, they're you could see them. They were just bad. The Darth Vader isn't as finely detailed as or rendered as, say, the speeder bike guy. The rider for the bike, it doesn't look bad. You can always paint over that ugly white that they have on them.
Right.
But me personally, I would take them and then use some epoxy sculpt to help fill. Once I got them in a pose I want them in, and then I would,
where they stand.
Yeah, I would do that. But I'm not a sculptor, but that would be a heck. I would try it. Because they're not. That one's a little higher. Some of these Bandai kits are beautiful.
Yeah, the C-3PO they did a good job on. I like the C-3PO one.
Yeah, I did the 3PO, and it's got, but the joints on that are obvious because they were the same joints that are on the suit. So
yeah. Yeah.
Is there? I mean, has anyone done the 148th X-wing? No.
I have it here, but I haven't done it yet. No.
No, I've got it, but I haven't done it yet, Liam.
Right.
I don't have it, and I haven't done it yet.
And I can't afford it, so I'm not getting it. So I'm not going to do it.
I've got the R2 on order, but I haven't done it yet.
Right. Very good.
And I haven't done any Bandai Star Wars at all, so.
I mean, that's an interesting one. I mean, Jack did the Mad Max suggestion, and a few people have been pottering with the idea, and I know our groups as well have been doing it. Like Gilbert's talking about doing his one, but I mean, is anyone else is it something we should do in Amazing Plastic? As an ongoing thing, just put up suggestions for group builds or group builds. They're good and bad. It challenges you to do something different, but perhaps. Mm-hmm. It's too much of a diary thing where between end of July and the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, John's doing an enterprise group build, and there is an actual finish date on that because of what the ships are. So yeah.
Well, it's worth. I mean, there's two big things this year. Obviously, are the anniversary of the Battle of Britain, which someone mentioned the other night.
Yeah.
Or the big obvious thing, Star Wars. But maybe Star Wars just everyone's doing Star Wars stuff. Perhaps it may be too much. And of course, then you've got next year is the 50th anniversary of Star Trek,
which is an important thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I hope you're going to.
You keep your Battle of Britain. This is important.
Well, I hope I'll see you in Vegas next August, Lou.
Oh, I would love to, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No, that's
unless I can retire in May or June, and then it might.
Well, don't.
I'll be needing a lottery win.
Well, I'll need the retirement one. That's what I'm hoping.
Liam, are you ever going to come over to Telford one?
It's timing, Jamie, and I would love to go. I mean, Randall's the same. It's just one of those things that would be fantastic to attend it. But
yeah, it's a really good show.
For us to get from here to just across to Telford, it's not practical to fly because you can't buy anything, or practically nothing to bring back. If we go in a car, it's going to cost the guts of £600-700.
Yeah, but it's £80 to fly.
But you can't bring anything back.
No, that's true. Yeah. That's 22, isn't it?
And if you add on a bag to bring something back, that's an hour. With EasyJet's £45, I think it is.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's expensive. Cheap airlines. cheap up to a point, and then you realise they're not cheap at all.
No,
I think if you're just going to go with a hand back to Ireland for like a weekend, it's cheap.
Yeah.
If you're going to go over in a car, like you say, it's £300 or £400.
Liam, could you mail it back from the show?
You could do it that way. I know it wouldn't be the first time I've done that. I used to go to London regularly, and quite often I would do that. I would mail the stuff back to myself because it was cheaper than.
Right. That's what a lot of folks do at Wonderfest. If they fly in and buy too much, they just have a UPS or a postal service set up right there at the hotel.
Yeah.
And they just box it up and mail it to themselves.
And I've used it the last time I was in Vegas. I used the UPS service in the hotel to send something, but it was within the US. It wasn't within back to the UK. Well, we're just on 2 o'clock, guys, and we usually try and keep it to the hour thereabouts. So I hope you enjoyed. I mean, this is my sort of tenure of the seat today.
It's the most I've enjoyed Heath in a while.
I assume he could be watching because he's still online. I can still see him here on the.
I'm hoping this will get him back on.
So, but I've tried.
Just to tell you off, Lou.
I don't know. Say Jack will be taking over for the next one in 2 weeks' time. So we'll be interested to see what the secret plans are. What amazing.
Will he debut his new lair?
Well, as far as I know, he has moved. I haven't been speaking to him at all. As far as I know, he has moved upstairs, back to civilization. I think he was fed up with it. Although I think he'll have less space. I think the basement is quite large. So
yeah.
I know most of the American modelers tend to either have a basement or something somewhere that they seem to use. But
I use my whole house.
Yes, I had noticed.
Nice for some.
Yes.
Part of the yard.
No female interference. That's what it is.
You gotta have priorities.
That's what Gil, you were talking about. Phil B the other night. Phil's wife's expecting, you were saying, and now it's going to be everything will change. So
yeah, he had a nice little room there, and his wife's expecting, so now he needs that room there for a nursery. So.
One of our regular attendees here, Andy Golightly, Andy's been off the scene for quite some time because he had to move house. But I was chatting to him on Wednesday night. He's got a huge shed now. I think it's something. Oh, there's him off. The butterfly flew past again. Don't you say it, Lou.
You're seeing things, man.
And it looks amazing. So I'm hoping to get him back on the show sometime. And I've told him to post pictures of it as he builds it as well. It's doing a really great job.
The lad who's expecting this child and is going to give it the room. I can imagine him coming online outside on his drive, and it's blustery golden wind, and he's trying to video himself.
I just hope the kid can get used to the paint smell.
Okay. Well, thanks very much.
Tiny respirator on it, you know.
Okay. I'll just close down the broadcast and say bye bye to everybody. But don't go away for a second if you can. Gil, thanks for joining in today. It was great to see you on here.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully we'll get chatting again. I know it's early morning for you, but I really appreciate you coming in. Same for you, Lou, and same for you, James. I know that it's a big deal for you to get up quite so early in the morning to sort of join us here.
You're welcome then.
Same with Bob. Bob's even further west, so it's worse again. I don't know what time it is. What time is it with you, Bob? There.
For Gil and I, it's 8 o'clock, just after 8.
Oh, well, that's
not too bad.
That's the end of the day.
Heath, of course, wherever he is.
He's asleep.
It's midnight in Australia, so we'll allow for that. But thanks for joining in today, guys, and hope we see you all in 2 weeks for the new improved Scratching Jack hangout. We'll see what he's got up his sleeve, or he may have it within his underpants. Okay, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.